been? How was your week? It's been an interesting week. For those of you who know me and usually following me, you know me. For the rest of you, hello and welcome and thank you. I'm Sarah. Most of you will be watching this because of the FaceApp video or FaceApp tweet. And let me get everybody caught up because the YouTube people might not know what's going on Twitter and so forth and so on. So let's just get everybody caught up. So earlier this week, I had looked into FaceApp and I wanted to know, what was the big deal? Why was it trending? And someone, not from Twitter, from my field, colleague, had messaged me saying that someone had sent them information on how FaceApp had uploaded one picture that they didn't authorize, along with other pictures that they did authorize. This person is not from Twitter. This person is not online. It was just a colleague sending me that information from something he received. So I said to myself, oh, interesting. That's interesting. It's 1 year out from the election, from the general election. It's a Russian company. They're, harvesting your biometrics. So I was just like, this is interesting. Let me look into it. And I tweeted that it's interesting that they, this is, who they are, and it's interesting that people are just handing over this data, especially coming off of Facebook, especially coming off of, privacy concern and security. And I don't even understand why you want a face app that makes you look old. I don't understand that. Maybe I'm just too old to understand it, but it seems to do well with men of older demographics, and it does well with younger people of both genders. So it's usually like the 23 plus and older men demo it did well with, it's still doing well with, and with the younger genders, 12 to 21, both genders. 12 to, I believe they told me it was 12 to 16 females love it, and 12 to 21 males love it. But not all females love it, just so you know. I have no desire. I'm very picky with the apps I play with anyways. I'm very picky. I don't do a lot of things on mobile. It's consumption versus production. I'm usually on my PC, which runs server grade parts, because I need the power and it's just faster. I mean, come on, I want to get my work done. Time is usually of the essence. I usually don't have enough hours in the day. That's why I talk so fast. So I tweeted what I tweeted, which I stand by because that was the information I was given. And then I said, I saw it blowing up. I think it was at 2,500. And then I was like, oh dear, what's going on? And then I saw, it getting bigger and bigger. And then I said, okay, I'm going to have to, I was doing the deep dive anyways, but then I posted that I was going to do the additional research and the deep dive into it, and I will post my findings here. So, on my website. So, a lot of the criticism was, Russians aren't bad, Russians are good, the slander, I'm pro-America, I'm a nativist. One man said that I wasn't going to do the research, I just linked to my blog, which was weird. The thing with research is it takes time, and I wanted to look at different things, and I wanted to do additional research on the company itself, the developers, and everything I posted on the blog post, I stand by. I stand by the fact that the biggest issue with FaceApp is its geolocation, the geopolitics around Russia. We are going into another election cycle, and on top of that, a lot of the terms and agreements, its terms of service, are pretty standard. Aside from the arbitrating part, most apps, most software will say, we want to arbitrate with you, you cannot sue us by using this. Most of them say that. What was sticky with it, on top of it being in Russia, is it said it could use your photos for commercial purposes. But TwitPic and some others back in the day had said the same thing. And it is standard in their terms, in some terms of service. Like they do put that, like we own, we own, and network TVs and studios do that. Like we own, if a writer, or actor brings, a character to them, oh, we own that now. We own the commercial use of it. So even that part wasn't new, but that's a big sticking point for a lot of people. Do you want your aged old face, a face of you, used in their advertisements or used in their, used by them with no written consent or compensation to you? Are you okay with that? And if you are, great, keep uploading. My biggest issue was and still is, no developer, no company is bigger than the government, the jurisdiction it is under. I think we like to think we are and, run around and rally and say we the people. We aren't. I'm subject to US law. My German developer friends are subject to EU and German law. If you develop in Russia, you are subject to Russian law, and all governments are not created equal. Russia, Saudi Arabia, Israel, China. If you write software for there are different types of government, and 3 of them are really, there's a theocracy and 2 dictatorships, and someone's going to say, well, what about the US? Yes, we absolutely use surveillance. There is no country that doesn't use surveillance at this point on its citizens. They use surveillance here, but we are protected by the Constitution of the United States. I can argue search and seizure laws and try to wrestle it for me. Where's your warrant? There's certain things I can argue that they cannot argue in Israel. There's no point even try to argue in Saudi Arabia with the Sarai app. You are still under the umbrella of your government, and it is facial recognition software at the end of the day, and it can be handed over. Their research and development is in Russia. It can be handed over to that government for surveillance. Period. And for someone saying, well, what about here in the US, we're not innocent, they have plenty of data on us, and we, give them that data, we volunteer it. Yeah. And I'll take Snapchat as an example. If Snapchat started bleeding money, if Snapchat started losing more money and decided they wanted to sell certain type of software to certain companies or certain government entities, and the back end and what it collected, it could change one line of code right now, or 2 lines in the terms of service right now, really quickly. Nobody would even pick up on it. The news would only pick up on it way after it's done, and that could happen right here in the United States. It could just happen. All I'm saying though is, as a developer and somebody that writes code, the government is still over me here, and their government, for FaceApp and where they're located, their government is still over them. If you still want to use FaceApp after all this, and the whole point of the post and everything I was doing was just to say, hey, this is where your data is going, this is where, this is how it's being used. If you still want to use FaceApp, do it. Do it. Enjoy those. I don't know why anybody wants to see I don't know why you want to age your face. To me, if they had software that reversed everybody, it would have, whatever. But to me, you do whatever you want with your data. It's your data you're selling, and it's your data that's being harvested. I'm just saying, for people that didn't know where it was going, it was really for them. I don't like being on mobile. I don't download a lot of apps as it is. So I'm more of a desktop person. Because you can control your privacy and you can control things much easier on a desktop versus a mobile device anyways. 1,000 times. You have way more privacy options, and you have more control over your data on a desktop versus mobile. Mobile is consumption, not really production. It's consumption, and that's it. It's made for the masses, and most people just view on it tweet on it, send out, quick little emails on it. That's really the most. I mean, I could never video edit on the damn thing. God bless you if you do. I couldn't. So that's where I stand. Thank you so much for your time. Let us continue to fight. You guys want to hug it out. But yeah, that's just what it is. It's just about you being conscious of where your data is going and how it gets there. And yes, it happens here in the US too. We use your face and we use your face as data points. And Google Photos, I made that point in the blog post. Google Photos, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. WhatsApp collects so much information. People are crazy. Before we close out, one of the criticisms I got was that I was political and I came from a very political place. Damn right I'm political. And one of the reasons I'm political is because every line of code I write, you write, can be weaponized and is being weaponized. So yeah, and I'm only one little human being and I only have so much control. Again, I only have so much control. So yes, I would like to see certain things not be weaponized. And it probably will. We've all read enough. We've read enough sci-fi to know where this is all going. But my point is, that's one of the reasons why I'm political. I hope we don't go to where we're going, where the surveillance in China is unbelievable. They have social ranking systems on people to see, how they rank you on how good you are. And they have like a snitching system where your neighbors can say something about you and then they really deduct and add points from your social standing. And they're leading right now in AI. So pair all that, and they have a president for life over there. So that's why I'm political. That's why. Yes, because I don't want to live in a country like that, and I don't think you do either. All right, you guys, that's it. Let's continue to fight. To go with the greatest show on earth, live long and prosper. I will link to my blog post. Have a great day. Bye. See you in the next one. Poke, poke, poke.